Hello! Today our lesson is about adjectives. And adjectives are used in comparing or describing the nouns in our sentences. Now, adjectives have their forms. We have two types of adjectives. First one is what we call comparative. Comparative. And the next one is what we call superlative. Okay. Comparative, from the word compare, it is comparing two objects only. So comparative is comparing two, while superlative compares three or more. Yes, you're correct. Three or more. Now, in doing the comparative and the superlative forms of our adjective, there are rules that we need to follow. First rule. Rule number 1. Add ER and EST. Okay. ER if it's for comparative. Very good. ER is for comparative and EST for superlative form. Very good. That is our rule number 1. For example, if our adjective is the word short, for the word short, the comparative form will be, what do you think? So for the word short, our comparative will be, okay, we will just add ER to our word short. So the word short becomes shorter. That's correct. So short, shorter, and for the superlative form, it says here add EST. So for the word short, shorter, and in the superlative form, it becomes shortest. So short and then we add EST, it becomes shortest. Very good. So short, shorter, shortest. Another example. Smart. So the word smart, then the comparative form will become smarter, and then for the superlative form, it becomes smartest. That's right. Next rule. Rule number 2. Double the last letter for the CVC. Remember the CVC words? Consonant, vowel, consonant. So that is our rule number 2. Rule number 2, double the last letter for the CVC words. For example, for the word big, CVC, we have the consonant, vowel, consonant. So for the word big, in the comparative form, it becomes bigger. See? Big. And then because this is a CVC word, we add another letter G because we have to double the last letter. So G, and then we add ER. So the word big becomes bigger. And then for the superlative form, we do the same process. We add the letter G to the last letter and then add est. So it becomes biggest. Biggest. So the word big becomes bigger. Biggest. And then another example, we have the word hot. CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. So the word hot in the comparative form, it becomes hotter. It becomes hotter. And in the superlative form, it becomes hottest. Very good. Now, the third rule is if ending in E, only add R and ST. So if our adjective is ending with the letter E, no need to add ER or EST. All you have to do is only add R for the comparative and ST for our superlative form. So that is rule number 3. For example, we have here the word wide. See, if you look at the word wide, the last letter here is letter E. So it means we will not add ER or EST, but instead, the word wide, in our comparative form, it becomes wider. Very good. See, we will not add letter E here anymore. We will just add letter R for our comparative form. And for our superlative form, we will not add E, only the word ST, widest. So only the letter S and the letter T will be added to our word wide. We will not add E anymore because it's already letter E. So the wide, wider, widest. Another example, we have the word nice. If you look at the word nice, it ends in letter E, so no need to add ER or EST. For the comparative, it becomes nicer. Only add letter R for the comparative and nicest, only add ST for our superlative form. Last rule will be rule number 4. Ending in Y, change Y to I, then add ER and EST. So if the last letter of our adjective ends in Y, we will change the letter Y to letter I, then we will add ER and EST. That is rule number 4. That is our rule number 4. For example, the word easy. See, if you look at the word easy, the last letter is letter Y. So for the comparative form, we have to remove Y, but again, by removing the letter Y, we have to add I. So, easy, we remove letter Y, we change it with letter I, then we will add ER, easier. So that will be for our comparative form. So it becomes easier. And for our superlative form, easiest. See, there's no letter Y, but instead there is letter I, because change Y to I, then we have E-S-T, easiest. So, easy, easier, easiest. That is another example. We have here the word heavy. Because the word heavy is ending with the letter Y, then we remove the Y, but instead in comparative form, the heavy becomes the word heavier. Change Y to I, then add ER. It becomes heavier. And for the superlative form, it becomes heaviest. Change Y to I, then add EST for heaviest. Now we have here, even that we are at home, we can still do comparing using comparatives and superlatives with all the objects that we have at home. For example, here I have 3 containers. So we can have small, smaller, and smallest. Another example. For the word, we'll have wide. See? Wide. Wider. And then we'll have, for the last, widest. See, it's very wide. So we have widest. Next, we'll have big, bigger. See, it's bigger. And then for the last one, we'll have biggest. See, if you compare the 3 books, look, it's big, bigger, and then the biggest. Next one, we'll have tall. See, look, it's very tall. But we have also taller, if you can see it, it's taller. And then, wait for it, we have tallest. See, if you compare these 3 objects, we have the tall, taller, and then the tallest. Another one, we'll have small, smaller, and then smallest. Another one, we can have thick, thicker, and then thickest. See, it's easy. It's also easy for you to practice at home. Look for all the objects that you can compare. Practice this one, and then you will have a good job. Bye!